Hi, and welcome to Crypto Crazy. I'm Cal, and today I was going to make a video about Vespa Finance because it's a new coin that was listed and released a few days ago. However, I think I'll do that after dinner because, first of all, I just want to make a quick video about the market capitalization and also the drop in prices. Now, I've been watching videos and reading about what people predict the price of Bitcoin to be going forward. And there's a lot of speculation that it will now have dipped what it did today in terms of about 10% in value and then shoot back up again to potentially 70, 80, 90, even 100,000. But I just want to talk about what I've learned from watching those videos, but then also from my own experience of the bull market about three and a half years ago as well. So just starting off, you can probably see here from having a day of pretty much a sea of red in the last hour or so, those prices are stabilizing, and in actual fact some of them are now back into the green as well, or around about the sort of the 0% movement. So that is good in that aspect. I think there is a lot of people that I spoke to today who were panicking, especially those who are new to investing within the cryptocurrency world. But if we just go over to Bitcoin, and you'll see from the highs of near around about $60,000 over the weekend, it did drop a considerable amount down to 48,000, and it kind of bounced back up again. That's always, I imagine, when people quickly selling, there are people going to be out there who are going to see that it is too undervalued for where it is, and they would quickly buy it up. So they probably got a bit of a discount there from those people who were probably selling too quickly. But if we just have a look over a different period of time here, so I've seen a lot of people speak about not seeing a parabolic movement up within the price of Bitcoin, and they've been looking over a shorter period of time. So 3, 4, 5 months, they've been looking at the bull run, and the problem with doing that is this doesn't look parabolic. By that I mean it doesn't look like it's going up very steeply, but the reason being is that it is constantly going up very fast in this period of time. So for any asset to go up pretty much from, let's say, close to 15, 16 to over 50 and near 60 to 3x in 3 months is certainly a very quick movement in that price. So if you're looking at in the shorter term, it certainly isn't going to look parabolic. And for that reason, people who are assessing the graphs are saying, well, it hasn't gone up that much yet. It's got a lot more to go. This is just a mild correction. Now, that may be correct, but what I just want to do is just bring you some more information so you can make your own decisions as well. So if we have a look at the year, as you can see here, it was flat. It was probably flat for too long, but it did begin to pick up speed towards the latter part of last year, and we saw it go from about 10,000, 10,000, and go up pretty much sixfold, close to 60, in the space of around about 6 months, maybe even less, 5 months. So again, that's been constantly going up quite a lot. But what I just do want to bring to your attention as well, like here, we did see a drop of around about 20%, and that could have been a worrying point. But as we've seen, it began to shoot up a lot higher, and that could potentially happen. Now, there's videos out there which are saying that this is the biggest Bitcoin dump, but the thing is, as the price has gone up, the market capitalization has gone up, more people buying into Bitcoin. So even if it goes down the same sort of percentage, the market capitalization as a value will obviously be the biggest. By that I mean, if it's gone down 10%, when it was 500 billion, 10% would have only been 50 billion, whereas now when it was 1 trillion, 10% will obviously be double that value. So that's why it sounds like it's the biggest. Well, it is the biggest, but why it sounds like it's a bit more dramatic than what it was when it happened before. But also, let's just have a look at last time when the bull market was towards the end of 2017, and I was invested in this at point. I'd been following it all year, seeing it go up from the first time I dabbled in Bitcoin. It was about $600. I got out of it very quickly because it was highly volatile. And then when I saw it at 1,000, I thought, well, it can't go up any further. And throughout the whole of that year, 2017, I saw it slowly increase. And it was only at this sort of point that I got into it much more heavily. And it was quite some roller coaster ride, because when I saw it begin to see these big drops, and here from 7.5 down to, it did actually go to below 6,000, I remember. It was a considerable amount, and like we saw today, but it continued to then push forward, and then it got very, very bumpy. Now, what I do want to just bring to your attention is, now this is up to you to decide on what is your strategy and what is your exit points. I mean, no one can really predict what is going to happen, but I just want to share with my experience of what happened. Because I was quite new, I used to listen to a lot of YouTubers, and they always say, follow your own advice, but people were always very optimistic. And I think it just helps to be a bit realistic as well. Now, if you got into this market some months ago, 5-6 months ago, and you have now got, if it was just Bitcoin alone and you have 5-6x, then it's a pretty good return for those months. If you've had Cardano, Ether, Polkadot, some of these other coins, Binance Coin as well, you've probably seen your returns in double digits, more than 10x in those last few months. So even if you've got a diversification of those coins, including Bitcoin, I mean, 10xing in the space of 4 or 5 months is absolutely incredible. I did a video when I was having a look at some of those prices, and they've 10x just from the start of this year, the likes of Binance Coin and Cardano. So incredible amounts. But just bringing you back to what happened here, I remember when it began to come down, there was still a lot of sort of optimization, a very optimistic viewpoint. And then it bounced around. And I remember just at the turn of the year here, there was a lot of speculation about how it was being very heavily adopted, and funds were buying in, and we had futures for it as well, and it's been widely adopted, and there would be this massive push in price. And I got into it even more pretty much in these couple of days before the new year. And if you have a look at the price, about 13,000, and then within a week it shot up. And if you have a look at that 17,000, I had pretty much close to 50% increased my holding within Bitcoin, and I was ecstatic. I thought, this is absolutely amazing. And when it began to go down, there were still a lot of videos out there that said, don't worry, it's going to go back up. This is just a mild correction. And then it went down again, and you kind of hold on thinking that it will carry on going up. Now, if you're in it for the very, very long term, obviously now buying in at around about 13,000-14,000 and being at this value, then it's fine. But the wait has been 3 years. Now, it kept on going down even more in price here, and it went lower, as we know, down to the 3,000 to 4,000. And there was a period of time of 3 years, like I mentioned. Now, if you have to use that money for any reason, then obviously I think that has to go into your buying and selling strategy. I unfortunately did need to take some money out later on in that year, and I did have to take some losses. But I just want to share that with you so you're aware of what you can do. Now, going back to the price, what we were having a look at, we've seen this go down like that today. And like I said, once we start to go out, people say, well, that's not parabolic. Even at 3 months, that's not parabolic. But if we have a look at the year, obviously that does look like it is pushing up a considerable amount. Now, this might just be a slight correction, and it does push up a little bit further. It does push up to 70, 80, 90,000, maybe even 100,000 in the upcoming weeks, maybe a couple of months. But whatever does happen, I think you need to be ready for that strategy. Now, if you have made a lot of profit, if you invested around about here or even way before that, I think it's a good time to maybe take something off the table and enjoy those profits. If you're in it for the very long term, then obviously today's correction doesn't really matter because it's a highly volatile market. And in the next 5, 6, 10 years, whatever it may be, I'm sure Bitcoin is going to be a very, very large number in terms of its value. And if you're just getting into it, well, then you've got to know that you're buying pretty much at close to the top of a bull market, and that's, as you can see just from the price increase, and it could go up more. It could go up another 50%, let's say, from where it is today, 60%. But you've got to be realistic with what sort of returns you're looking at. It's very hard for it to go 5, 6x now over that period of time that it has done for the last 5, 6 months. So just bear that in mind, and don't try to get caught up with what everyone's saying and saying, yeah, you know what, buy more, it's the dip, get into it, go in heavy now as well. And I think even if you do take something off the table and you enjoy those profits that you are made and it does go up, then I think you just got to be happy with the fact that you have booked in those profits. I think as long as you're not uncomfortable with the fact that if you were to take it off the table and it were to go up another 50, 60%, it's missed earnings, missed profits. But one thing that I do always say is it's impossible to time the market. It's impossible to know when it's the highs. So you just got to see what works for you in terms of your strategies. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's just my knowledge and my experience. It's not to predict what will happen. I think there's a lot of videos out there which are pretty much saying the same sort of thing. They're predicting that this will go up much higher, and it may well do. But I just want to tell you as well that it wasn't that long ago, 3 years ago, when I was hearing those videos, and even when it was going down, there were still people out there who said, no, don't worry, it's going to carry on going up. And that kept on happening all the way down. It went down to 7. Don't worry, it's going to go back up 7,000, 5,000. Don't worry, it's going to go back up. And it did go up, but it was over a very long period of time. So I hope you found that useful. And if you have, give me a like. Like I said, I'll do a video a bit later on about Vespa Finance. I think it's a great coin in the long term, and I'll be talking about what they're going to be doing. And if you do enjoy these type of videos, bringing you news and views, please do consider subscribing. I've been Cal. This is Crypto Crazy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.